What up, y'all? Welcome to this episode of Dear Chiquis. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of the day that you're listening to Dear Chiquis. I hope that as you're listening, you can learn something from these questions that I receive that I do not listen to before you guys. I listen to them with you guys and I answer on the fly and I give you the best advice I can possibly give you. Okay, so let's kick off this episode with Vanessa. Let's see.
Hola chiquis, ¿cómo estás? I've actually left you a voice message before and it was just asking you like how to gain more confidence when it comes to pursuing your dreams. And thankfully I am doing well with real estate and fighting. And thank you for your advice from that episode. So this time I want to ask you for some big sister advice because your girl needs a little bit of help. So I'm bad at dealing with my emotions when it comes to crushes and guys that I like. And my dating history has never been the best. I like bad boys, or I should say used to. I don't even know anymore. It's still there. But me gusta la mala vida. And as I get older, I'm like, girl, you need to find you somebody who's a hard worker like you and genuine and not into trouble all the time. So I met this guy not too long ago who I just have like had a big crush on. And I feel like I'm back in high school or middle school again. But the thing is, it's hard to read this man. Like, he's very similar to me. We're both hard workers. We both prioritize our jobs. We're both single. But his friends have mentioned to me in the past that he just has a hard time getting into relationships because he prioritizes his job too much, which I get. I'm the same. But he's also mentioned to me in the past when we hung out that he thinks I'd be a great mom and a great wife and all that. So I'm like, what do you mean by that? Like, are you, me estás, tirando señales o algo? And should I just get out of my comfort zone and tell him, like, what's up? ¿Qué opinas?
All right. Okay, Vanessa, welcome back. Thank you so much for your now second question. I'm glad that I was able to give you advice and it helped out. So that makes me happy. Now, Vanessa, okay, first of all, you need to get that out of your vocabulary. Me gusta la mala vida. You need to get that out, because if not, you're going to continue to attract that. Again, there's a lot of power in what we say. So get that out. Te gusta la buena vida. Me gustan los buenos hombres. I love good men. I love the good life. Start feeding yourself and your soul that so that you can attract that. Now, with this guy, I think that you should take the risk. I think do it. So that you're not making up all these stories in your mind and in your brain. I would just say, hey, I'm feeling you. I don't know if you feel the same way. If you don't, no hard feelings, but I'm feeling you. And really, if you're going to say that, don't feel bad if he says he probably will say either yes, I'm feeling you, let's try it, or yes, but no, because I am focused on work and I want to just focus on that and you can't be hurt. And you still have to just like, no, okay, that's what it is. And I'm not going to be hurt about it. But if you keep living with the what if he likes me, and you start making up all these, te estás haciendo ilusiones. You're giving yourself these false illusions that are just going to hurt you more. So it's better to just rip off the Band-Aid and ask him and tell him and say, hey, I like you and what's up? And be okay with whatever the answer is. But I say do it. If you don't do it, then you're never going to know. And if you don't know, then you're going to just live in this, maybe in this. There's nothing worse than being in that like limbo of like, yes, no, maybe so. It's so like energetically, it just drains you. So I would just say, boom, ask. Ask and then let me know what happened because I'm curious. We want to know here on the podcast what happens with this dude. Good luck, Vanessa. I hope you guys can make something work. And yes, buena vida. Te gusta la buena vida. Okay? All right, guys. So now we're going with Yuli. Let's see.
Hi, Chiquis. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you, que, oh my God, I'm obsessed with your girl. Tus libros, tu podcast, Instagram, everything about you, I love. But specifically, I have, also listened to both of your books, and specifically in your book, Forgiveness, you go more into detail about what happened in your childhood, specifically what happened with you and your dad, and, how you forgave him. I'm going through something similar. When I was a child, I was molested by a couple family members, and right now I'm in that process where los quiero perdonar, but at the same time, les tengo mucho rencor, and I know that affects me a lot more than it does them because on me, it's going to affect my health, not just, my emotional health, but my physical health. Y todo lo que sea, it's all building up inside of me. And I've been doing my best to avoid them and, not see them and stuff. But how do I go about forgiving someone who has hurt you so much and caused you, like, internal pain, especially at a young age?
Hi, Yuli. Thank you so much for reading my books and listening to my podcast and loving me. I love you back. Okay, let me get into your question. It's definitely difficult. It's a lot easier said than done to say, I'm going to forgive this person. I don't want to hold resentment. It's something that you need to practice every day and you need to pray about every day until you get to the point where it no longer just is a prayer and something that you say, but that you really mean. And it's going to take some time because it seems like it was a couple or a few people that did this to you. And I'm so sorry that you went through that. But I can tell you from personal experience that forgiving the person that hurt you really frees you of holding on to that. And the more that you hold on to what they did to you, it's weighing you down. And I'm sure you know this, because you're telling me and you're asking me, so I know, again, it's easier said than done, but it's weighing you down and it's not allowing you to live the life that you're meant to live. I think it is good avoiding them. If you don't want to see them, don't. If you don't want to be around them, don't. I understand that. I didn't want to see or talk to my dad for a long time. Now it's different, but I would honor that. Avoid them and stay away from them as much as you can until you get yourself in line. But I do recommend that you pray about it, that you meditate on it, whatever it is that you do to center yourself. And I'm glad you read the book Forgiveness. So I know that you know all of this because I say that in the book. But I think that's the best advice that I can give you is just really, really every day telling yourself that I forgive them. Say it out loud. I forgive them. I forgive them. I forgive them. I hold no resentment. I am free from that because it is a gift for yourself. It's not a gift for them. You're not excusing what they did because what they did is not okay. What you're doing is saying, yes, this happened to me, but that is not going to define who I am and where I'm going in this world and what I'm meant to do. I'm going to release this and I'm going to leave it here and I'm not going to carry this big bag of emotions and resentment and rocks that just weigh me down. I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to keep walking. I forgive them. I forgive them. I forgive them. Tell yourself that every single day until you believe it, until it's a real thing in your heart and in your mind. So be patient with yourself. Be compassionate because it's going to take some time. And give yourself some grace because you went through a lot. Only you know what you went through. But it will make you feel so much better to let go of that bag and leave it there and wish them well and avoid them if it does not give you peace to see them, okay? I hope that helps and say it out loud. Say it out loud in the mirror. I forgive them. I am not what happened to me. I am not what happened to me. It will help you a lot. I did it and it really, really did. And you feel better, okay? So thank you so much, Yuli. Te mando un beso, 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 un abrazo fuerte. Okay, guys, the last question comes from Arie.
Hi, Chiquis. I have been loving season 3 of the podcast. Like, it is so good. I love that you are doing it on video.
Thank you, baby.
Excuse me, that's my dog chewing on a toy, if you can hear anything. But I've just been loving that you're doing it on video. I'm like, oh my God, we get to see her and her reactions to questions.
I love that.
I just think it's so adorable. Anyways, my question for you today is, what do you recommend for me to do for my skincare as a 21-year-old? You have like the most perfect skin ever, and I know that you've been into skincare for a really long time. So I just want to know, if you were 21 again, what would you do for your skin? Like a couple ingredients that, you recommend. And also, is there any like procedures from an esthetician you recommend, or, what kind of treatment should I be getting? Because I really don't know. But thank you so much, girl. Have a great day. Bye.
Oh, Arie, what do you mean, girl? I am 21. What do you mean if I was 21 again? No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for listening. And I love the feedback. I appreciate you telling me that you love, the set. Thank you. Thank you for being a loyal listener and watcher now. Watcher, is that even a word? Anyways, of the podcast. So thank you. Now, I love your question, Arie, because definitely if I can tell my 21-year-old self what to do with the skincare, which I've been using skincare since I was 16, right? I've been a freaking fanatic of skincare since I was 16 years old. But what I was not doing enough of was applying enough SPF. That is so important. And yes, that's the thing. When we're young, we're like, oh, we're young. It's fine. I can just like sunbathe and tan. Don't do any tanning beds. And if you do a tanning bed, please cover your face. It's one of the worst mistakes that we can make. And if you go out in the sun, please apply sunscreen every half hour, every hour. It's super important, the sunscreen, because you're preventing. Because right now you won't have wrinkles and lines and superficial lines, but eventually that sun exposure will catch up to you. So you have to be really, really careful. So use your SPF, exfoliate. It's super important to exfoliate at least once a week. Remove all those dead skin cells. Use a toner, alcohol-free toner. Go to BeFlawless.com. BeFlawlessSkin.com. You'll find some good stuff there. But for sure, a toner. A lot of people do not use a toner. I don't know why in the world you wouldn't use a toner, but it really does help minimize the appearance of your pores. It helps hydrate your face. It just preps your skin. But for sure, SPF, and then also hydrofacials, okay? Those are they're not as invasive, but also they're not as just like superficial as certain facials that you would just get where like it's just creams and stuff that they're applying. The hydrofacial, look into it. It's a little pricey, but it's definitely worth it. If you get one once a month, it will really help you just, keep your skin nice and balanced, especially with the texture of your skin, which is probably the only issue that I don't know what kind of skin type you have, but those are my recommendations from the top of my head. So I hope that those help. But for sure, girl, SPF. I wish I would have worn more SPF in my 20s because I'm Latina. So we get a lot of hyperpigmentation. So just be careful. And what else? Exfoliate. That's I think. Oh, and mask. Oh my God. Use a mask at least once or twice a week. A good mask. I have one that's really good. It's vitamin C exfoliating mask, anti-aging, which you probably are not worried about aging. But again, preventative. We're all doing preventative things to prevent. Okay, so think of that. All right. Thank you guys so much for your questions. And I hope all of you that are listening and watching also learned a thing or two or maybe three from this episode. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week and enjoy your weekend. Okay. Los quiero mucho, 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 mucho. Y le doy gracias a Dios por cada uno de ustedes. Los quiero mucho. Bye. This is a production of iHeartRadio and My Cultura Podcast Network. Follow us on Instagram at My Cultura Podcasts. And follow me, Chiquis, that's CHIQUIS. For more podcasts from iHeart, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your favorite shows.